Welcome to Demoted. Demoted. We don't have a theme song
Still
yet.
working on the music.
Yeah, the theme song's not quite there yet. I'm workshopping it.
I have to ask what's going on the forehead.
On the face.
On the face.
Yeah, so there's a few things I have to just upfront apologize for. The first one is the giant bruise hickey on my forehead.
Yeah, tell us more. What's going on?
Well, I'll start with
there?
I'm very hungover right now. We had a little party last night. I had some friends over on a school night.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
We raged, and your boy cooked a brisket, and I was feeling myself. People were loving the brisket. It was like a barbecue, whatever.
Totally.
And I thought I would do some party tricks. So I recently shot a video that included a 8.5-inch dildo. And the 1/2 inch is important here. It's black. It's got a suction cup on the end. I stuck it on my forehead like a unicorn horn.
Of course.
And I thought that would be funny because I was running around like shaking a big old dildo on my forehead.
Textbook party trick as a
Totally.
35-year-old.
Everybody was like, God, that guy's cool.
Totally.
He's so 35 and fun and
Yeah.
cool. And I didn't really remember or think about the fact that it would give me a hickey on my forehead. So I have a bruise on my forehead from doing that.
From running around like a little unicorn boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dildo
Dildo boy.
Yeah, dildo boy.
Little unicorn boy. Well, that's awesome. And
What'd you do last night?
Well, I'm not hungover because I think, did my invite get lost in the mail or are we just not friends socially?
No, it was
still.
it was a millennial thing.
It was a millennial thing. Okay. I'm just making sure.
You're Gen Z now?
Because I'm feeling fresh as a daisy. Yeah.
You look fresh as a daisy.
I feel amazing. Here. And so thanks for the invite. I think a call back to our first episode where we discussed how you never invite me to anything.
Right. Well, we have to change that. I just wasn't sure if Annie has to come too.
Oh, yeah.
And she constantly calls me the Grinch. So I in my own home.
That's fair. That's
right?
fair.
I wasn't sure.
Annie is my brand manager sitting right here. And Ross they have a little banter.
We have beef. That's a banter beef. It's fun though.
Yeah.
It's fun,
it's
right?
Playful.
It's fun, right, Annie?
It's fun. Let's go into our kind of uplifting segment that we like to start every episode with shit we hate.
Shit we hate. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Well, I read yours here and I'm already cracking up. So why don't you just hit me with it?
Yeah, when you step on something wet while wearing socks. Because you're like, what the fuck was that? You're
oh my
disappointed.
God, my day's ruined.
Yeah, I'm like, is that water? Is it pee-pee?
Yeah, because you like to pee-pee in every
There could be
corner of your
pee-pee
house.
anywhere.
Totally.
And you just never know when you're going to step in it. And it ruins the sock. You got to change your socks. All of a sudden, you're like worried about athlete's foot, fungus, something. Like
all of a sudden, all these feelings and thoughts are rushing to your head.
Rushing.
Yeah.
It's very similar to, and I'm going to blow this one from another episode, is when you're chewing something, you actually bite down something hard you weren't expecting.
Totally.
Like, is that a tooth?
I have no idea. What is that?
I don't know.
A bone?
Yeah, I don't know.
has to be
I
a
don't
bone.
know. So I hate it, and it gives me the heebie-jeebies, and it pisses me off. What do you hate?
I hate that as well. I have to agree. And I hate, I'm so OCD that if it's 1 foot, I'm like, well, I might as well step in it with the other one.
Right, might as well soak it all up.
We have to even it out.
Right, clean this floor.
Mine is, and we've done a Barry's boot camp class when we were living in LA for the show.
We were the two most jacked people there.
So you're familiar with sort of the workout class,
of course,
cultish mentality.
Oh yeah.
I've been doing a lot of workouts this year, workout classes.
It shows.
And I've developed this hatred for when I'm choosing to maybe, let's say, be on my knees for the push-up section because I need a fucking break.
Right.
And I can't pump out 60 push-ups in a row.
Right.
And the instructor in front of all 60 people in the class will go, nice option on the knees, Natalie. Great choice.
Is that passive aggressive? Or is that just aggressive? Or are they like genuine?
It's genuine, but it's so hurtful.
Right.
It's like, everyone check out Natalie on tread 4, walking on an incline instead of running. Great option and a possibility for all of you to try.
Yeah. Wow.
I hate it.
The whole vibe in there just kind of upsets me. Like it is a fun vibe if you could just take the instructor out.
Totally.
For me.
Well, then it would be a rave. Yeah, it's just a dark
I think
room,
that's why I like it.
A bunch of sweaty people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
better.
fun.
Minus the instructors. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's very cringe-inducing. You want to fight yourself afterwards. You want to fight them.
Totally. It's just...
They make a little comment to you as you leave the studio, as they like to call it.
Yeah, they're like, Knuckles. I'm like, no,
I'm
thanks,
pass
Buster.
on the Knuckles.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's what we hate.
Demoted.
Welcome back to Demoted.
It's good to be here.
This episode, we want to talk about work-life balance.
Yeah. What even is that when work is life?
We're all so stressed and overwhelmed. Work is life.
Yeah.
People who make work their entire personality.
Done it. Been there.
Maybe some
done
tips on some tips on
how to handle it.
how to handle
How to
it.
be less of a little bee
Yeah.
about it. I don't know. So like, yes, I know we're talking about stress here and everybody's stressed and we're in a new year. So we've got New Year's resolutions out there. People are trying to be better versions of themselves, but it's hard.
Totally.
It's
Maybe you're
hard.
setting some work goals. Maybe you're setting some work-life balance goals.
Yeah. Like, how are you going to navigate this crazy world where life and work are so intertwined?
Yeah. Let's start with a time. When do you like distinctly remember being extremely overwhelmed and stressed?
Most of the time. No, I mean, working in sales, you're always stressed. Quota never sleeps.
When is it Q4 quota? What's like the hardest?
Well, Q4 is the hardest if you aren't at your year yet, right? It's the last chance, last quarter to make it happen. And most companies operate on a standard calendar year. So October, November, December is Q4 usually. So it does correspond with the holidays. Some companies don't do that, but oftentimes most companies do the majority of their business in Q4.
Okay.
So all you're trying to do in sales is set yourself up so that Q4 isn't do or die or as do or die.
Totally.
And so you're stressing out. That's why salespeople work through the holidays. They're refreshing the inbox. They're on vacation, in quotations, and they are grinding, freaking out, sweating.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, as soon as it's done, the new year comes, and guess what? You're back at zero, and you get to do it all over again. There's no real like, yay, you did it. I mean, there's like a couple days, maybe you go to President's Club in a best case, but it's like, all right, time to do it again, motherfucker.
The commission is terrifying. Can you share like what a base salary is for like entering into sales? Like how much of it is commission? How much of it is?
Yeah, it's overwhelmingly a 50-50 split. So
Okay.
they have this thing called OTE, which is on target earnings. That's basically says if your base salary is 60, they'll say your OTE is 120. Meaning if you hit 100% exactly of your number, you make an additional 60. You can make more, you can make less. That's just the variable of where that falls. In tech sales, the majority of it is half base and then half commission OTE.
Yeah.
In more traditional things like insurance or door to door, it is 100% commission.
That's crazy.
Those are some of the best, but also some of like where a lot of the stereotypes come from.
I dated a guy who sold office supplies door to door.
Yeah, that's real. And there's so much selling going on in industries. I mean, you would think about this, but I think alcohol distributors or people going to Office Max and be like, hey, you guys got to carry this version of paper.
Totally.
Rolling
up with their suitcase.
Right. Suitcase full of paper. You feel that?
Yeah.
That's
Cutco knives.
Yeah. Cutco knives, all that stuff.
So do you have a moment when you were like, oh my God, my world's coming to an end?
It honestly, it always kind of felt like that.
Yeah.
Because until you're quote unquote done with your work, you want to keep working. You'll go home, you'll pull out your computer and you'll just start sending emails. You'll dig through Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using. It's a terrible feeling. It's a very stressful feeling.
I mean, you're also just a grinder. I think we both are kind of grinders. Like you were at a party last night with a giant dildo on your head and
Right,
you were
I was
texting
grinding.
about the podcast.
Right, we were.
Like literally, I had no idea.
And then I sent 100 texts to you this morning, just being like, should we do this? Should we do this?
Manic thoughts.
Yeah, I was
I'm
having
like,
problems.
Okay.
I was having problems.
Yeah, you're having problems.
What about you? Like when do you have like, I wish I had a true, just like, I'm freaking out sort of mental breakdown, but I was always sort of breaking down.
Yeah, that
know.
makes sense. And
We're going to go back to a nicotine conversation. I can already feel it.
I feel it
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a moment, I think I spoke about it briefly, but when I was working full-time and doing corporate Natalie full-time with no help, no manager, all of that.
Yep.
And I just felt like the worst version of myself. I like wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't working out. I never left the house. Like
Right.
I just felt horrible. And like the difference between that and how I feel this year is insane to me. And it's like small changes and hobbies that we'll talk about later.
I was going to ask like what you think changed. And let's actually, instead of what changed, let's go back to even before that, college. You came out of college. Like, did your habits change? Did you ever feel stress in college? Can we talk about that for a second? Just
Totally.
2 seconds.
I was in the undergrad business school at Notre Dame.
Okay.
And I transferred from liberal arts school. I think my mind is like very English, American studies, liberal arts minded. I was like, however, I do want a job. So I'm going to major in IT management. I know nothing about IT management.
How many other young lasses were in IT management?
So
major?
few.
Oh my
and,
goodness.
And that developed my skill of networking
Yeah.
with the smart dudes. And I would,
nerds. Yeah.
Yeah, the nerds. So I had a lot of nerdy friends and they would help me through it. And maybe I cheated on a couple tests.
Maybe I copied some homework.
Maybe I copied the homework because I don't know how to do VBA code and Excel.
I don't even know what you're saying to me right now.
Please, I don't know.
VBA
That's
code.
way over my head. Yeah, it was tough. And I was like really stressed in college. I remember being very stressed, not necessarily like party fun vibes. It was like a little bit of that, but a lot of overwhelming stress and whatever. So I kind of carried that with me through work. I think I made work my whole personality. I was traveling. I'm like, I'm a consultant. Like, I love this. I'm going to climb the ladder. And
such valuable, fulfilling work.
yeah, I had my work phone, which I thought was like the sickest thing ever, that I could like stack 2 phones on the dinner table.
So sick.
And I just like, I was too stressed at that time. And what changed? You asked what changed between basically the 2 full times now.
Yeah.
She's sitting over there
Less
on that
work.
couch.
Yeah.
I hired my first full-time employee, but she, we joked that there's no HR department. I'm like, oh, you want to take it to HR? Sure. Say it right now.
Say it to my fucking face.
Say it to my face. But
she does though. That's the thing. She'll say it.
She'll say it.
Yeah.
She'll say it to you for sure. Feisty little one over there.
No protections for me.
No.
Not in this economy.
But I started this year very intentionally. I was like, I want to walk 10,000 steps a day, which I was literally walking 1,000 steps a day. I wouldn't leave my like 900.
I think a lot of people are that way.
I think a lot of people are that way. Like I got an Apple Watch. I'm waking up early. I bought in on this narrative that like I can be the girl who wakes up early and does all these things.
Yeah.
And I've done it for every single day this year. Like I said I would do it and I did.
Yeah. It's funny because the last thing we want to be is the gurus of cold plunge, wake up early, read 1,000 books.
No. And I'm so not that. Like, I'm obviously not that girl that's like, everyone come with me on my daily meditation. But I was like, I can wake up early. Like I can freaking do this. And like
book club, we're reading The Things They Carried.
Yeah. I just went through my goals from last year, read 3 books. Didn't read a single
Might have missed a goal or 2.
Might have missed that. I missed a few goals. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But there is something to be said for creating elements of discipline. And I similarly didn't do it for the longest time. I was like, I don't need to do that. I feel fine. I'm all good.
Yeah.
But then you start to do something like that.
Let's start with what you were like in college, because you played a sport.
Yeah. So I was a baseball player and I was a pitcher. So I was fortunate in that I would pitch on Fridays. I would pitch the first game of every series, which was nice because I knew I wasn't pitching Saturday or Sunday. So I'd go out and party Friday night. You do have to be really disciplined to show up, but it doesn't mean you didn't show up in horrible condition. Mm-hmm. I lived in a house of non-athletes, all athletic minded guys, but not a single athlete in the house.
Okay.
They were just good dudes. I really honestly didn't hang out with as many athletes, if you can believe that. They were a little bit more hardo, but it did develop an element of discipline and routine and process. But you can only survive so many hungover mornings before, you age. You become 34 like me. And now I literally can't do that anymore. I can't do it. And it becomes the small choices. And you start to say, my God, I feel better. I feel smarter. I feel just like more clarity. I can work for longer. Not to say that's necessarily a good thing. And there's a lot of other, like you said, we'll talk about the hobbies, but what really changed for me was just buying into the mentality that I do need to do some of these things, that these things are good for you. It's kind of like eating your vegetables. Mm-hmm. And I noticed a performance change for myself. And that's where I was like, well, shit, I got to do this more.
It's such a thing with growing up. I mean, this is like a toxic.
It's literally growing up.
This is like a toxic example, but it's like the almond mom. It's like, she's just trained herself to eat 4 almonds a day.
Yeah.
That woman's sustained. She's fine.
Totally.
That's horrible. And I'm not condoning that at all, but it's like, as you age, you're like, well, this is what I need to do to be what I want to be. And I'm going to do it. And maybe I lose joy, but I gain a lot of joy.
Right. And I was talking about this with some friends the other day, and it's not to say I don't play World of Warcraft at night and smoke a bunch of weed. Totally. I do those things.
But I'm giving up your gummies? Are you kidding me?
Hell no.
No, come on.
I need those. I need those. But it's the other side that I have to do to give myself permission to do those things.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big piece of it for me, is earning the right to be a degenerate.
Totally.
Which I love to be.
Love.
But you got to earn it.
It's our innate. It's
who we are.
It's who we are as people.
Yeah. Don't look at us. Don't judge us like this.
Don't judge me. Okay. Should we talk about like mental health at work, or like,
let's talk about some heavy shit.
Yeah.
We should talk about it a little bit.
But why should we, why are we the experts on this? I'm not sure, but I think there's like some trends.
We're not.
Even like the Gen Z videos that I make. It's trending towards like, you should be able to talk about mental health super openly at work. And that definitely like wasn't the work culture that I was in. I don't know about you. Like, did you?
Mental health. It was called "Stop Being a Little Bitch."
Totally.
that direct quote. That was
Totally.
what it was.
Totally. One time I started crying in front of my male boss. We were like at an offsite. I just like broke down. I never cry, but I
And he
couldn't
was just like,
control it.
Stop it, Natalie. You're embarrassing
No,
us.
it was just like, he's
You're
like, I'm-
embarrassing yourself and us.
No, it wasn't that, but he was like, I'm just going to step outside. Like just had no idea. I just didn't ask, came back in. I'm like, hi, let's review the deck.
Yeah. And he can't, he's like scared to pat you on the back and be like, it's going to be
Totally.
okay.
Oh, you can't touch.
Like, yeah. It's going to be just a light kind of, yeah, I'm going to just get out of here.
So that wasn't really the case.
Obviously, mental health is important.
Definitely.
Of course it is. And I do think it has become a lot more normalized to talk about. And I talk about it a fair amount, but I usually do it under the guise of a joke
Totally.
because it is serious. And I don't like to talk about serious stuff without making fun of it.
No, we
And
can't
we talked
do
about my
that.
therapy. We talked about Kyle,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you think like, okay, I'll give you some questions. Do you think like people should be allowed to schedule therapy during the day, employees?
Oh, that's a really good question. Well,
I will start.
yeah, I don't
think
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to say, do therapy on the weekends.
Well, what about after work?
What therapists work till 9?
I don't know. Find a good one. Find one to work with you. You know, in this.
I think yes. And also I think it should be like, if you have a weekly stand up at 8 a.m. on Wednesdays, like
Don't schedule your
don't
therapy.
schedule
for that.
your therapy then. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I would say I agree with that. And I guess maybe I'm thinking about it in this whole remote world where I kind of would schedule anything that fits into my day with work as a priority.
Totally.
Similar to that, what you're saying with the 8 a.m. stand up. If I got meetings, like those come first and I'll move everything else around
Yeah.
that.
I agree.
But I don't know. The mental health stuff, it is a joke to a lot of people. And I think it is a generational piece. And there's a lot more, like again, we talked about this at some point with the Gen Zs entering the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do all this stuff alone? What do you do to stay mentally fit and healthy when there's so much baggage that's already just being dumped on us via social media and other, news and media and all these things? The world's ending.
Totally.
How do you go sell some
How
software?
do you sell some software? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about, so you come from tech and sales. I come from Deloitte consulting. And I think there's this big space of like finance and very hardcore old school, like investment banking, private equity. And I think part of that job, and maybe this is a hot take, but I think they sort of are like, we're paying you enough and you are like that you don't afford these luxuries during the day.
Like we are factoring your salary, like your misery is part of the salary.
Part of the salary. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I think a lot of people in finance listening to this, if you even have time during your day,
Yeah,
you're
don't.
probably not. But if
Yeah.
you are, it's like, I think they'd be saying like, I obviously cannot do therapy during the day. I can't even fit in a workout class.
Yeah.
I have to go to the office at 6 a.m. and I leave at 11 p.m. What am I supposed to do?
Well, there's a lot of them that subscribe to you can pay me
Yeah.
to be miserable.
And
You can do
pay
that.
me to be miserable. Totally. And I think that is just an undeniable fact.
Yeah. And you're seeing it less and less. The reason salespeople get paid so well is it's hard. It's fucking hard. And it's not just the job itself is hard. It's mentally hard. Mm-hmm. And I do think that stuff gets factored in. You have to weigh whether or not that's worth it to you. And we're just finding more and more people say it's not worth it.
Definitely.
And that's a big piece. And so how would you define work-life balance?
It's different for everyone.
Of course.
I don't know. I mean, there's just a feeling that
Tranquility.
feeling balanced
Yeah.
is hard these days. It's very difficult with the chaos of how fast this world moves that I would define it as feeling balanced.
Yeah.
Like,
But what if you can't use the word in the word in the
I
definition?
have to use the word because I don't have,
I only know 11 words.
I only know 11 words. How the hell would I do? Yeah. Tranquil. Let's go back and forth on.
You feel sort of an equilibrium.
Relax, equilibrium.
Mental equilibrium.
Totally. I don't know because
Yeah.
it's different for everyone. I think some people need more. I think what I hear from a lot of Gen Z is like, I need my workout class every day. I need these things that like I didn't necessarily need fresh out of college.
Yeah. I think there's something also nuanced about this idea of being unhappy and being uncomfortable are two pieces. So it's no different than, do I love being in the gym and having to take an hour and a half to go to the gym? No, I don't. And people are like, oh, you must like love it. No, I don't. It's just necessary. And my mentality is I need to push myself. And it feels good after I'm done pushing myself. But in the moment, do I want to be there sweating in the YMCA, just spending so many hours a week? No, of course I don't. If I could not do that and get the same results, I would.
Yeah.
But I'm okay being uncomfortable and somewhere in some of these workplace elements. yeah, sometimes you have to wake up really early, or sometimes you have to work late, and that's okay.
Yeah, you can't have it all. Like
Yes.
the huge issue is like, I want to be paid more, but I want to do less. It's like, no, you have to do more to get paid more.
Exactly.
And so
you have to earn it in some ways. And so I was gonna initially say, I think it's when you don't get the Sunday scaries, but I think people still do anyway. People still will. You got a presentation on Monday or you've got a big closing call. You're still going to get a little nervous and anxious for that. But to me, that's more uncomfortable than miserable.
Yeah.
And uncomfortable is growth. Like, creates growth.
I think miserable, it's also like the repetitive nature of it. Like, are you doing this same miserable life every day, or do you get some, not the end of the quarter moments that you're not?
Yeah. Let's talk about some tips on what we do and how we think about it.
Yeah. Let's give some tips. 5 tips on staying sane from us, because why are we giving this advice? I'm not sure.
Because we are licensed medical professionals.
Exactly. Listen to us. We know.
Talon, please put something on the screen that says we are not licensed medical professionals.
Please add a disclaimer. We need to keep this podcast alive.
Yeah, thank you.
We want to preface, not everyone can do all these things.
Blah, blah, blah. There's nuance.
There's nuance.
Caveats.
Okay. Wake up early, get outside.
Touch grass, nerd.
Touch grass, nerd. A lot of people are like, I'm just not a morning person. Okay. Then do it at night. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think get outside. You don't even you could walk for 10 minutes, but just try to get up early. You add more hours to your day to work.
Taste some of that fresh air.
Get some fresh air. I do a workout class, but I won't push it.
Yeah, I'm more of an afternoon workout guy. I do this thing now where it's super lame. I'll sit in the living room where the sun kind of beams through the window, and I'll just slide a chair against the window and I'll drink a coffee there. And I'll be scrolling my phone, but I just feel that vitamin D just on my cheeks.
You just curled up in a little ball with a scarf.
Sun just kissing me.
Sun just
lightly caressing my cheek.
You. I love that.
And so I confess, I do take vitamin D pills because I'm like, I don't get outside enough. And my doctor was like, dude, you're like super healthy, but you're vitamin D.
I love that you're like coming out with that as if that's like a horrible thing.
I just want people to be brave too.
Yeah, like
you can't.
I thought you were going to say brave. Like antidepressants. You're like, yeah, I take vitamin D.
We talk about this. I smoke a bunch of weed. I'm not on the Lexapro train yet. One day.
Okay.
One day I'll
not
get there.
Yet.
Everybody else I know is, and I feel like at some point I'm going to get left behind. I should just take it.
Totally. Get on it.
But no, I do sit by the window, get a little sun. I love just going outside for 10 seconds, like you said.
Literally 10 seconds. Can I read the one that you wrote next? Because I find it just kind of cute and sweet. Ross wrote, find a way to nurture your passions.
Okay.
Elaborate.
What I meant was like, do shit that like makes you happy, dog. No, actually though. So I think this is super, super important. And this is truly kind of how Corporate Bro came about. Was I passionate about slanging database for Oracle? Does database get me jacked up? Not really.
Nope.
Enterprise architecture, not that sick, to be honest with you. And so for me, it was, what was I going to do on the side? Whether it was playing sports or working out or being creative, making the videos. Like the videos was my passion. And a lot of people will, in a perfect world, your work is your passion. You're doing that.
I was going to say, it's okay to not be passionate about your work, and you probably won't.
It is more than okay.
When you start.
Yes. Yeah. And that's fine. But you have to look for other ways to be happy. And I am what you call an existential nihilist. Yes, big words here. Basically what that means is there's inherently no meaning in the world. There's none. But it's what you make it. It's what do you choose to find important? What's your purpose? Like, do our videos matter in the grand scheme of the world? No, they don't fucking matter.
Of course not.
Nothing we do matters.
This podcast, please.
We all die.
Yeah.
We all die. But I find meaning in being able to create something that I feel like can last forever and have a positive impact on someone else. I enjoyed going to work every day because I loved the people I was around. And we were all struggling and suffering under this big red machine known as Oracle. Mm-hmm. And that was cool. And that was fun. And that's why I liked what I did. Did I like making cold calls? Of course not. So it's like, how do you find meaning in ways to just pull, either nurture passion or pull and derive meaning from the things that you're doing?
I love that. I think also just I'll note, like, there's a lot of emphasis on the side hustle and like, I need a side hustle. I need a side passion. I need to set up the easel and start doing art in my apartment when I can, because I need a hobby. We'll talk about hobbies later. But I think there are opportunities for like intrapreneurship within your companies. Like you're saying, you found passion in Oracle with the people. Can you lead the early in career group, the women's group? Can you find these avenues within your job to make it slightly more fulfilling? I think
group.
You should focus on that within your job before going outside.
Right. You've got these communities already pre-built.
Totally.
You know,
going in every day
right.
for some
and
of
everybody's unified under, we work for the same company. There's going to be plenty of people who have other interests outside of whatever that company does that want to do shit.
Yeah.
More of the personal side of things.
Mine's just like plan one thing that could be small that you look forward to in your day. This is so like, it's sad that I have to write this on paper.
No, but it's real.
But it's real. Like when I was in that hyper stress time, there was nothing that excited me throughout my day. And there was nothing
that's dark.
I was proud of.
That's very dark.
Very dark.
Yeah.
And this can be something as small as like cooking a new meal, trying a new recipe, whatever. But just one thing that you're like, I used to do the 5-minute journal at the end of the day, and I want to bring it back.
Yeah, how did you like that?
I loved it. It's 3 things that you were grateful for from the day, and 3 things that you're looking forward to the next day. That's probably wrong. We'll fact check.
But I mean, it's you can do it however you want to do it.
But sitting and reflecting on your day, like, none of us do that.
Right.
None of us look back ever.
We're very rarely present.
Very rarely present, and it was so nice to be like, I really enjoyed that conversation I had with my roommate. I felt like we got to a new level.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just small things that you're.
Just taking a second to be here and now and, you know, acknowledge the things that you've done or were hoping to
Ross and I going and buying diaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The next one for me is detaching your self-worth from your professional performance. And maybe this leans a little bit more sales, but being a professional to me is someone who goes out there and kind of handles their shit in the good and the bad, and they stay as level as they possibly can. And, you know, you'd see it with new sales reps who come in and they're struggling and they wear it on their face and they're depressed and they're moping around and they're just sad boys and girls. And I was super guilty of this, going home and then working and stressing and being like the world is ending because I suck. Mm-hmm. I suck at my job, so I suck in life.
Totally.
And the best people to me were just like, you didn't know whether they're having the best quarter of their lives or the worst quarter of their lives. And they'd go home and they would live their lives and they would do their passions and they would go to the gym and they wouldn't just take the work home with them. And obviously there's times and places to bring some work home. You might need to, big presentation, whatever, big meetings, etc. But overwhelmingly, people just kind of need to realize that they are not their professional performance.
I love that. I think something that's changed for me just as a person, even with my like personal humor with my friends and family, and like how like I feel like I used to be so self-deprecating. I used to wear it like a badge of honor that hating your life is like funny and cool and everyone does it.
Yep.
And I think I've shifted just even ever so slightly. Like, of course I'm self-deprecating always, but I've shifted to allowing myself to be proud of moments and allowing myself to like, happiness is cool.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't have to be,
it is.
I mean, we do the shit we hate segment. Like, of course, like we are
We're
those
salty
people.
dogs.
Salty, but like being happy and being proud of that is, I think, like the highest badge of honor you can wear.
Definitely. And I super guilty of the same thing through high school. All I was self-deprecating, and it starts to manifest in reality. Mm-hmm. You talk about, I'm the worst. I suck at this. I'm not good at this. And you're trying to obviously shield yourself from other critique and other pain. But then you say it enough times, people start to believe that you believe it. And then you start to become it
completely.
And you just got to be careful of that. Again, still so self-deprecating. It's the best shield there is.
Yeah. But and in work too, like with your boss and your coworkers, like if you keep saying I suck at work and oh God, like I'm the worst, like show up and be proud of what you're doing inside and outside of work.
Own your shit. It kind of goes hand in hand with the people who always apologize.
Totally.
Like you don't always got to be sorry.
Nope.
It's okay.
It's okay. You're allowed to exist.
Take a stand. Yeah.
You're allowed to exist.
Yeah. It's good to have you here.
One more, set goals outside of work. I think it's similar to what we're saying. I started the year with 10,000 steps a day. I've done it. There are of course days that I don't move my ass off the couch, but like set goals outside of work that you try to get to, whether it's on the weekend or after work, whenever it is.
Yeah. You don't have to be perfect, but you need to be deliberate, you know, and some days you're going to miss, some days you're going to have a cheat day. You're going to eat worse, right? You're going to miss the gym. It's okay.
Yeah.
It is totally okay. You're not a piece of shit. Even if you tell yourself you are, which I do all the time.
Yep. I heard a woman speak. She was my co-panelist at Harvard, actually. And I won't name her in case she doesn't want this being said, but she goes, I think failure looks so ugly on me. So I do everything that's possible to never fail.
Yeah.
And she was like so dead serious. She didn't start laughing. She's like, as long as I do everything possible to never fail, I'm happy. I was like, well, that's a little intense for these high schoolers we're speaking to. They're not going to all get into Harvard. Let's pipe down.
Well, I would say, so I have a problem, and I'm curious your thoughts on this. And I talk about this actually in therapy a lot. It is, and it goes hand in hand with what she said. It's, to me, success is status quo and expected, and everything else is shit and I'm shit and I should just jump.
Yeah.
Like I don't, if I'm successful, I post something, it does really well. I'm very just like, cool.
You so are that.
Neat. Like neat. Okay. Now I got to go do it again. Like, duh. And then one does badly. I'm like, I'm fucked and I'm not funny anymore and everyone hates me and I should just die.
I know. It's only level or worse than level.
Right.
For
exactly.
you.
And it's a
I
very
don't think
hard
I'm
thing.
the same. Yeah. I think I
How
like
do you
to
not
celebrate.
do that? Yeah. I'm like, it's so hard to just not think success should be status quo, which is outrageous, right? Just hearing it sounds arrogant. It sounds
Totally.
cocky. But I'm like, yeah, I'm working as hard as I can to not fail. And I expect to not fail. And when I fail, what the fuck me?
I know.
Why would I do that?
I had to shift my mindset a little bit around it. I think one with corporate Natalie, I was able to be like, this is so cool. This is not normal what we do. Like, you know, and having the autonomy to like carve my own path and all these things. Like, it's just, I'm so proud of myself at this age for having done that. And I think if I don't celebrate those wins, like what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's true. And I've gotten better at it and I've worked on it. And it's, you know, it's kind of stupid. I have that sadness sign up in my room. And when I'm in those places, I'll just look and I'm like, that word, that acronym means something to some people.
Yeah.
Like they know what it means.
You made it.
And I made it.
Yeah.
Like, and people are like that. They know what sales are dope, never ever stop selling means. And that's weird to me. And also the other piece, maybe this is a 6. Nobody's thinking about you more than you.
Nobody.
Like nobody's sitting there like, damn, man, Corp, that video today. I wonder how he's sleeping right now. Probably not.
No one.
And I'm not. I'm in the
How many
position.
times does your therapist say that to you? No one gives a shit about you.
Yeah. Not enough.
No.
Yeah. And look, and I know no one gives a shit about me, but at the same time, like my metrics are down. Okay. Nobody's liking my shit. And I think it's funny. So
I think it's good.
I think it's good.
I love you made a story recently that was like, hey y'all, if you guys like my video, feel free to like interact with it.
Literally though.
I DM'd you. I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, no, the amount of messages I got, you would think the video broke the internet.
Yeah.
And my friends, I'll ask my friends, they'll be like, dude, your stuff's been great. Like close friends. And I'm like, let me see your account. And I'm like, are you liking the videos? They're like, I mean, I think so. Yeah. Like, no, I'm like seeing them. And I'm like, that is not literally you just double tapping your thumb for me, for your boy.
Funny.
I'm not asking for anything for you to you're already doing it. Just like it. Don't text. You just texted me that you loved the video, but you literally didn't press the like button.
The difference between Ross and I is whenever Ross feels something, he'll immediately take to his Instagram story and share it with you all.
I am very honest. I'm very honest.
I like to, think through it, maybe sleep on it, mull it over.
Yeah.
Be smart about those things. You'll just take to Instagram.
Fire, baby.
Fire.
Burn it down.
Fury, which is, it's not my style.
There's different ways to handle things.
Yeah.
Some more mature than others.
I would advise, sleep on it.
Yeah. I do. And then I wake up the next morning feeling like such a dumbass.
Yeah. You'll engage with any hate comment.
Oh my God.
Oh, really? Well, I looked up your LinkedIn.
That's the first thing I do.
It's crazy that you think that selling.
There's a guy who commented on our video, our We Are Corporate thing the other day. He goes, you guys don't work. Shut up. And I was about to be like, actually, it's funny. You say that. I can't remember what his name was, Clint. Because I'm looking at your LinkedIn right now. You work at Walmart. It's funny because Natalie's actually doing some ad work with Walmart, where you work. Isn't that weird how she's working at your company? I had some shit typed out.
Wow. Thank you for not speaking on my behalf.
If it wasn't our video, I would have gone in.
Oh my gosh.
That guy would have quit.
He would have
yesterday.
cried. Yeah.
He would have quit yesterday.
Well, thanks everyone for listening to our tips. That got a little deep. Should we lighten up a bit?
I got a little fired up. Yeah, we should lighten up. Let's lighten it up.
Let's talk about outside of work interests. We've hinted at this for the podcast. I'll start with as we were building kind of the outline for what we were going to talk about, our producer's he did 2 things. One, he was like, bring something that is representative of your hobby. Or a couple. He said, bring 2 things.
I think he said hobby to you and hobbies to me.
He said hobbies to both of us. And I said, Talon, what? Hobbies?
Yeah.
Plural? Please.
Yeah. Please. I better make something up.
I have to. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to Dick's Sporting Goods and buying some
Hashtag
toys.
not an ad.
Hashtag not an ad. But I'm like, what's going on? Okay. So Ross has a ton of hobbies.
I do.
And I would like to say, I think you don't have to have a freaking hobby.
You don't.
Everyone's like, well, what do you do in your free time? I don't know. I hang out with my friends. I drink a little. I go to a workout class. Is that enough?
I live my fucking life. I'm sorry. I didn't know I had to categorize everything I do.
I didn't know I needed I literally ran a half marathon to have a fun fact on Zoom calls.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's so tough. Okay,
that is a lot of work for a fun fact.
So let's go tit for tat on our freaking hobbies that I had to scrape out of the...
I know. I was like, can you call it a list when it's just one thing?
Yours? 10,000 steps a day is a hobby. I don't care what you say. I don't care what
it's
you
a hobby.
say. It's a hobby.
It's a goal. It's a hobby. It's a way of life.
It's a hobby. Barry's boot camp, Pilates,
Yep.
joining a gym. People are like, okay, I can't do classes, whatever.
Right.
Join a gym and walking on the treadmill. Use that time to
Do that
respond
butt
to
burner
emails.
thing. Yeah, where you turn it up to a 12% and you just walk.
12-3-30.
Oh.
That's a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the baddie walk.
All the ladies listening know exactly what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, they do. And I'm lost.
Okay, Ross, I'll freaking hand the mic over
My
to
hobbies.
you. Explain your hobby.
On the first day of each month of each year.
Oh my God.
Okay, I won't. So I don't know, golf, baseball, lifting,
Oh my God, I cannot believe you wrote lifting.
cooking. Yeah, fun fact. Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry, Gloomhaven, which is a form of Dungeons and Dragons in board game. It's a little more accessible. So if all of you were looking to get into D&D,
No one is. All my
I
all my
recommend
followers.
Gloomhaven. It's very fun. You know, you get some whiskey, you get some friends, and you gloom. Video games. I do a lot of that. Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, RimWorld. I mean, there's a ton of shit. I mean, like I said, built my PC, blah, blah.
I have a theory that there is no female equivalent for video games that is for men.
I don't think there is.
Men are able to, golf is close, but
Yeah.
a lot of women play golf, but there is no way of like throwing on your headset,
Right.
popping on the video game,
Sitting cross-legged, crisscross applesauce.
crisscross applesauce in your little gamer chair,
Yep.
talking to all your buddies.
Yeah, I know.
In the gulag, whatever the hell it
Yes,
is.
look at you in the gulag. Hell yeah.
There is no equivalent
yeah.
for, and there are female gamers. I'm not, if
Right,
you're a
they're out
gamer
there.
who's listening, rock on, sister.
And
I
I'm
love
sorry
that.
for all the abuse you take in those games.
It's not me. But there's no equivalent. And if there is, please DM us because I would like to
That's
get on that.
so true. And I was going to say, and again, not limited to women because I got a caveat, watching Bravo and shit TV, like
Yeah.
reality TV. I feel like there's a lot of that in the sense of shutting your mind off. I think it's very similar, but there's nothing like you said, drop in with the boys. There's nothing
it's
social.
Not social.
No, totally.
There's nothing social
Totally.
about
And
it. I
that's
watch
why I
the
don't think
Kardashians
it's
with my roommates every night.
Yeah.
We're silent.
We're
probably
there
scrolling
silent.
TikTok while we're watching it. Yeah.
Right. There absolutely is nothing. And then I said fantasy sports and yelling at kids. Those are my final hobbies.
You have a lot of hobbies. You also, Becca told me you do 60 push-ups a day,
Yeah.
like just in your house. Like
No, it's part of our lifting. We're doing a shred right now. So we
Okay.
do like 5 lifts that hit every muscle group. We do upper body, then lower body, then upper body, then lower body. But at the end, we do a superset, basically plyometric that starts with 60 push-ups, jumping jacks, burpees, jump squats, bent knee raises, and
talk about discipline. Ross is about to go on a swimsuit friendly vacation.
yeah, swimsuit friendly.
And I don't know when this podcast is releasing, but Ross has downloaded a calorie counter app that he
have.
scans everything that goes into his body.
I do. I'm
He's
toxic
on
as shit.
You're so toxic.
I'm so fucking toxic.
It's crazy. I text you to like something about the podcast and you're like, sorry, on the treadmill, like with a freaking hefty bag over you. Like, you're trying to lose 20 pounds in a week and you're a freak.
Yeah, I'm a freak. I used to. So this is bad. I used to, like, out of school when I was still training for baseball stuff, I would go everywhere on my bike, and I lived up on Russian Hill. So all you had to do is go straight up. I would put on a weight vest and go to work. I was working at an ad agency downtown. I would throw on my weight vest, my headphones, my headband, and I would bike to work, and I'd get in there just like, what I would imagine a bomber might look like who has just strapped to his chest. No, I did. There was just pieces. I looked like I was wearing a bulletproof vest or something with a bunch of ammo on it.
Flying on your bike.
Flying on my bike across the Embarcadero.
Ross is like, Becca, come on, scale, weigh in time.
Yeah, weigh in, suck in. Wait, I got to pee first before we weigh.
Like, you're the worst. Oh my God. Okay, but you have a lot of hobbies. That's impressive.
It's cool.
I think to anyone listening, and especially my followers, because I love you guys, if you don't have a hobby, who the hell cares? You know, sitting
fair.
with your girls, sitting with your roommates, watching TV.
Totally fair.
Is a hobby.
It's a hobby.
And I don't care what anyone says.
It is.
Okay.
Should we shift to our show, but mostly tell piece of our hobbies? This is another Talon, our producer idea.
Okay. So this terrified me. He texts us, bring something that's representative of your hobbies. And for all of you listening, we'll try to describe it very, very in a very detailed way.
Yeah, he calls this show, but mostly tell. So the idea is we bring in an object that we're proud of that, you keep on your desk as a conversation starter that would either represent a hobby or activity you do outside of work.
No one told me it was on the desk, so mine's a little bigger. Here we go.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
I'll start.
Yours is a little bit bigger. Okay. You go first, and I'm going to describe it to everybody here who's listening. So this first object, this isn't hard for me to describe. It's a volleyball.
It's a volleyball.
And we've talked about how you are Sporty Spice now. Went to Dick's Sporting Good one time, and suddenly you
did a Dick's Sporting Good ad.
You are Misty May trainer.
Of course. Well, I've played volleyball my whole life.
Yeah.
For people who might not know me
Because you're
personally.
6'1"?
Shut up. I was a setter. 5'7" and a setter. But I played my whole life. I played club in college, actually.
Because you are actually an athlete. You pretend like you're not. You like you say you're not. But
no, I just think if you don't play a sport in college, you can't really say you did. But I played club. We traveled everywhere. We actually got 5th in the country for club volleyball at Notre Dame. And I love it. So I recently played in a grass tournament where I was with my friend Hannah. Hannah, shout out if you're listening. And there are leagues. There's AA, which is basically like professional.
Okay, that's the best. AA is the best. Okay.
There's A, and then there's B. I should have been in B, just having gone.
Right.
What did I sign up for?
AA, didn't
AA.
you? Oh my goodness. Wait, so is this a city league?
It's a grass tournament.
Where was this?
Doubles. It was on like Chrissy Field.
Okay, but this is here in San Francisco. Okay.
And I am getting annihilated by these 6'5" women. I'm dead serious. My friend Hannah and I are both like 5'7", like defensive players.
Yeah, she's like libero from Nebraska.
We're rolling all over. I have grass stains. I'm like crying. I get hit in the face. Like it's horrible.
Right. Some girl goes up for a spike and you just wear it off. It
was so bad that it was like those girls felt bad playing us. They're like, oh, here, no, we'll give you the point. I'm like, you know what?
You will give you the point.
Okay, Misty.
Fuck off.
Okay, Misty May.
Yeah.
Fuck off. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna serve. Whatever. That makes my skill look worse than it is.
2 serving 18. Ready?
Underhand. Yeah. Okay, is that score right? 2-8. Okay.
You guys just need 3 more points and this is done, right?
Take me out of my misery. But it is a hobby. I don't do it a ton. My roommate played club in college as well, and we'll pepper in our front yard.
Little pepper.
But that's my hobby. Okay.
That's a great hobby.
I'm gonna put this molten volleyball to the side now.
Yeah. You guys can return that now.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we have the receipt? Okay.
I'm going to hand this to you and you are going to do your best to describe it. And I'll tell you what it is after. Take a good look at it.
Okay. It says, it looks like a dog toy.
It does look like a dog toy.
But what it is the stick, all natural bat grip.
Yeah.
And
it says that on there, doesn't it?
But it looks like your dog chewed a hole into the top of it. But what I'm thinking is you're giving your bat a hand job.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
So it's a pine tar stick.
And you're sponsored obviously by this company.
No, I'm not. They actually don't even give a flying fuck about me.
Okay.
I've tried to get a sports deal, bat deal.
Well, they're like, we're working with like the Giants.
Yeah.
So we're
They're like, actually, we're with corporate Natalie and she was a baseball player. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Your intramural league is like, okay. So tell me more. I know, however self-deprecating you're going to be, you actually are very committed to your baseball team and you do a lot with baseball. So,
I do a lot with baseball.
Please flex a little, tell everyone.
So I played college ball. I played some minor league ball. I was a pitcher. But now that I'm out, I also get to hit. So it's a wood bat league, and with a wood bat, you need grip on it. And so that is a pine tar stick that, like you said, you give it a little HJ. It's got a little kind of U-shape grip. In the inside looks almost like clay or sticky stuff. So you actually take a lighter to it to warm it up a little bit.
Wow.
And so then you just go up and down on the bat, and it gives it a lot of stick. So the bat doesn't fly out of your hands.
Okay, I love this.
And so this is for our fast pitch wood bat league, a bunch of hardos. I'm 34, so now I'm getting beat by 22-year-olds, which feels bad.
Totally.
But we've lost in the championship the last 2 years. I keep saying I'm going to retire, and then we lose, and then I'm like, I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
I thought initially when I saw you this morning that your bruise on your forehead was baseball related, but actually it was just a
dildo related.
8.5 inch dildo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. Yeah.
Thanks for letting me touch your bat grip. I know that was hard for you to hand over.
Yeah. Well, it just sits in my car. Everyone's like, ew, what the fuck is that?
You like lighting it.
Yeah. Like, smell this.
Does everyone use it? Are you like a kind of like more tech than needed guy?
Almost everybody uses this.
Okay.
No, I'm not more of the tech guy, not anymore. I probably used to be. I was, I'm only solid 5'11", so everybody else is bigger. I had to figure out other ways, but tech doesn't really do too much.
You admitted that you're 5'11". Wow. If you were in the dating scene, I feel like you'd
I'd be 6 for
definitely
sure.
say 6.
You go look up my roster photos and everything. It says I'm 6'1".
Yeah, 6'1", sure.
6'1",
sure.
185.
Give
In
me
college,
a
I was
break. With your
5'11",
spike heel
165.
cleats. Yeah, sure.
Oh, and the
Okay.
cleats, I was easy 6.
Oh, please.
Solid 6.
Please.
But now all my video gaming, my hunched over sort of posture, I'm shrinking.
Yeah. So
Feels
that was a one-time segment called Show But Mostly Tell,
Yeah.
where we share an object, a hobby, because I'm out of hobbies already. So thank you, Dick's Sporting Goods. That's all for
Again,
me,
not
folks.
a sponsor, but
Yeah.
here you are.
Won't be a segment you'll ever see again.
Yeah. Oh, fine.
Do you want to do the HR letter?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm excited for this.
Okay, so we wanted to do just a little segment that's like not a segment at all, where I just wrote up this HR letter to Ross. You're
Can't
a
wait.
first-year analyst. I'm the head of HR who just got called into my office.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
Okay.
Okay.
Ross, I think you know why you're here today. And if you don't, we may have a bigger problem on our hands. We're obviously here to discuss what happened at last Friday's happy hour. Your actions were so egregious that I had about 10 employees come directly to me. I had to write them all out to ensure I didn't miss anything.
Oh, God.
The night started fine. Besides you sporting a tie with mini eggplant emojis on it, I think everyone was generally unbothered by your initial presence. Things escalated quickly when you screamed, "Who of you motherfuckers wants a tequila shot?" Lucille noted to me here that you ordered a shot for every employee on the company card and even tried to force one down Mark's throat, our VP, who's been clean and sober for 15 years. When asked to slow it down by Rudy from accounting, you told him he sucks dick and proceeded to belabor the bit by shouting, "No, really, Rudy, do you like dick in your mouth? Seems like it." You then spearheaded a game of truth or dare, which the team was quite uncomfortable with. And I had one of your colleagues on record stating it was all just Ross daring people to do things they didn't want to do. You dared yourself to kiss Cassandra, the intern from Miami of Ohio. You then dared Mike to email all of our clients a video of you vaping. You then said, "Hey, Marissa, I dare you to have sex
sick.
in the next decade. Unlikely, but I'm rooting for you, you wench." At this point in the night, quite a few coworkers had reported their discomfort and asked you to call an Uber. You verbally attacked anyone who suggested that you go home and said to Richard, "I got drugs if you need anything. On me, dog, for real." Richard said, "I'm good, thanks, Ross." And you mumbled under your breath, "Pussy."
Of course I did.
Once home, you went straight to...
Oh, my God, I'm not done.
You went straight to the all-employee Slack channel at 3 a.m. by sending a photo of you eating pizza on the ground of an apartment that we all hope is yours, wearing nothing but your company sweatshirt with the caption, "See you Monday, nerds." For these reasons, I had to pull you in for this discussion today.
Am I fired?
I think so.
For what? I didn't hear a single bad thing in there. Wow. Did I do a sick vape trick?
It was,
crying a
you were
little bit.
blowing clouds. Okay.
Oh, that
Promoted or demoted, what this podcast is about.
Yeah, promoted, demoted.
All right.
What's our theme this time? It's like we're going to kind of be on the vacation-y.
Kind of work-life
balance. Work-life balance. That's our
out
theme.
of office. Yeah.
Okay. Promoted or demoted, unlimited PTO.
Promoted. I worked at a company that did flex work where you can just like take, it was their brand name for like take all the time you want. And I think a lot of tech companies do that. You can take the time you need, put it in the system, whatever.
The counter argument to that is most people don't, like they get it and they don't use it.
The counter argument to that is that people accrue PTO and then the company owes them thousands of dollars when they leave.
Which is kind of tight.
Which is sweet. But like,
yeah. But
I would rather be able to take off when I want instead of getting, I don't know.
Yeah, no. It goes both ways. I think just a lot of people will accrue it. And then but then if they say it doesn't keep accruing, you kind of hit your limit, then you have to take it. There's something that some people need to have to take it. But yeah, I mean, if I'm picking personally, because I will make the choice to take PTO, give me unlimited.
Yeah. Promoted. All right. Promoted or demoted, family vacation as an adult with parents.
Give that shit to me all day. Promoted.
Mommy, I love you.
Mom, are we going to Hawaii this year? Oh my God, it's the best. You don't pay for anything.
I love,
your parents still let you sit at the kid table.
And chicken tendies on the, $12.85. Put it on the room.
Of course I'm coming with, and you're like doing your parents a service in a lot of ways because they just want to spend time with you.
Oh, please. Yeah.
They want to spend time with you. You want to spend their money.
Wreaking havoc on the pickleball court.
Oh my God.
At the Four Seasons.
Yeah, lay out, Mom. Lay out. Be an athlete. Why are you screaming at me? We're just rallying.
You need to start a series on you on family vacation. It didn't work so well the first time. But
no, I'm doing that.
Yeah, you should.
I'm doing that with the pickleball, some pickleball shit.
I'm doing pickleball. We should have talked about, I'm doing pickleball stuff too.
You're doing pickleball bits?
Yeah. I leave for vacation in a few days. Okay.
Fuck, you're going to beat me there.
I'm going to beat you.
It's literally going to be a highlight reel of me yelling at my mom. That's all it's going to be.
Okay, that's hilarious. I won't do that.
Yeah.
Bragging about vacation at work, promoted or demoted.
Bragging about vacation at work.
I just think you're lame.
You're lame.
Like,
Demoted.
no one gives a
Hard
shit. Demoted.
Yeah. If someone asks you what you do, you can say what you did, but I wouldn't be like, so I went to Bora Bora this
Yeah. Fresh off the plane from Bermuda.
Yeah. You see, that's why I look like this. So
Yeah,
tan.
you see this tan?
Yeah.
No one cares,
Brutal.
Michael.
Yeah.
No
Get
one
out
cares.
of here, Michael. Bitch ass Michael. Meditation.
I have never tried.
Never dabbled.
The thought of silence and my thoughts encroaching into the forefront of my mind terrifies me.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of great things, but I can't.
Yeah.
Do you do it in your nook?
Not
When the sun's kissing you and caressing you?
No. That's just between me and the sun. I am going to promote it because I know it's a good thing. You have to be really intentional about that. I've got enough things
Yeah.
I'm working on.
Maybe if you want to like meander over to the new mother's room,
Do a little meditation.
meditation.
Yeah, why not?
We'll promote it.
Yeah.
We'll promote it
I'll promote it if
because
you
we're
can do it.
doctors and we've heard that it's
Because
good.
we are medical professionals.
Yeah.
So
Promoted or demoted CrossFit.
demote.
Demote. If you're flipping a tire, especially if you're posting about it.
Yeah, and you're doing battle ropes like anyone gives a fuck, dude.
No,
Chill.
no one cares.
As I previously talked all about my weightlifting and shred routine, but
Yeah.
I forgot to say, I call that routine Shred Zeppelin.
Okay. And this is why you're demoted. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Promoted or demoted microdosing at work. I feel like you'd love this.
I've done it many times actually, and I'm going to promote it because you're not supposed to trip, people. Like microdose doesn't make you trip. It just kind of like gives you a little bit of an edge.
Yeah. I've never done
Never ingested mushies.
macro or micro. No.
Yeah, well, you're missing out.
I'm scared. I feel like I'm too old.
No, that's what it's better for.
Okay.
It's better for people who are older.
Okay. Well,
There's a lot of studies that show the effects of psilocybin are actually helpful for mental health.
okay. Well,
Okay, well,
you're a
promote
drug
for me.
addict. Coachella.
For me, it's a demote.
Okay. I've
I
never
know.
been. Have you been?
No, music fest. I'm just generalizing music.
Never been.
Musical festivals.
I'm promoting it in hopes that Revolve will invite me.
I'll go.
Fine. Twist my arm.
Fine, I'll go. It's not that I don't like people. It's that I don't like a lot of people. And when I listen to music, like it's usually supplementing something else. I don't like need to go stand there and listen to it like a worse sounding version of themselves, of like the artist.
I think the like festival culture is terrifying to me.
That's like kind of where
like
I'm
Burning
going with
Man
this.
culture. Like, yeah, I would want to go to Coachella specifically because I think it's kind of a cultural moment.
Sure.
But like me stranded at Burning Man, I think is actually my living hell.
Yeah, Burning Man is a wild place.
Like
and I have not been.
Even at Outside Lands, I'm overwhelmed. I don't want to walk across muddy grass.
Right, the mud
Why
at
is
Outside
everyone
Lands?
having fun? Why is anyone having
Who's
fun?
enjoying this?
It's because they're macrodosing.
Right, they're macrodosing. The only
Yeah.
reason I'm going is if I'm full on macrodosing.
Yeah, maybe
So
that's
that's a
why I
demote
hate
for
it.
me because I'm kind of a introverted loser. So
Yeah, same.
I'd rather
Demoted.
play WoW.
Promoted or demoted cruises.
Demote.
I've never been on one.
I went on
You've
one
been.
recently.
Yeah.
We all got COVID.
Trapped on a boat.
Trapped on a boat, and it was like supposed to be a nice boat. And yeah, I'm gonna sound like a real diva, but it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice.
You're such a...
I know. I was like, luxury cruise, like for whom?
Yeah.
The average age was 70.
What is this, Deadliest Catch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, yeah. There's a
Okay.
lot of morbid things on cruises. I don't recommend it. Go see the place you want to see.
Yeah. Stay there. Be at the
And stay there,
hotel.
yeah. Stay
parade,
on land.
Parade your mom in pickleball.
Yes.
Yeah. Stay on land.
Things that cool people do. Yeah.
Oh, and the last one here is pickleball.
Promote.
It's hard promote.
Hard promote.
I love
I'm
pickleball.
all in.
We should play pickleball together.
I would love
do
to.
a bit. Yeah.
We just got a bunch of rackets. I saw you had a racket.
I brought a racket as my second hobby just in case I needed a backup. That's
Right.
going back. Yeah.
That's going right back to Dick's. Yeah. I got some paddles we're working on. Okay, great. That
Okay.
was promoted or demoted.
That was promoted or demoted.
And if you don't understand what it was, that's on you.
Totally. That's on you.
It's basically, do we like it? Do we not like it? All right. You figure it out. Be an adult.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This has been a great episode.
Totally.
I love sitting in the beanbag chair with you. I love feeling how much pain my back is
My
in.
back hurts so much right now. I want to stop bringing it up, but I can't.
Totally. We're a few episodes in. We hope you all have enjoyed it. If you have a confession, so I don't have to make
Work
up an
story.
HR letter
I loved it though. I
for
loved
Ross,
the HR
maybe
letter.
I'll probably do that every time. But if you have something you'd like to share with us,
Demotedpodcast@gmail.com.
of course, which
send
Ross
us
started.
a DM
Yeah, send us a DM
on the Demoted Podcast at Demoted Podcast on TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah, DM us on Instagram at Demoted Podcast. Follow
Obviously,
both
like
of us, of
comment,
course.
subscribe.
Yeah. Us,
Tell
like,
your mama.
I,
All that stuff. And we hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their week.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time
On Demoted.